For chanting holy Naam on a string of prayer beads, should we use the index finger or the ring finger? Some even use the middle finger to chant the holy Naam. Is there a sacred law for this, or the spirit with which we chant is more important? Till the time one doesn't understand the emotions attached to the chanting of holy Naam, she will do everything as a ritual. A common man tries to find God by following traditional rituals. His definition of God is attached to happiness, and to achieve that, he follows all the rituals. In one of my earlier discourses, there was a question raised by someone regarding the position of Sri Sadguru as compared to God. Is Sri Sadguru superior to God? This question was debated a lot. This question had created a lot of unrest in the minds of a few. Until one realizes and accepts that Sri Sadguru is superior to God, he should continue to follow all the rituals. It is mentioned in our sacred scripture that the index finger is to be used for the funeral rites performed after the death of our loved ones. The index finger is used for applying tilak to the pind, which represents the dead. However, the middle finger is used to apply tilak to self. When it comes to God, Sri Sadguru, or for that matter, anyone who is considered to be respectable, a ring finger is to be used to apply tilak. Thumb is used while making an offering or oblation. While chanting the holy Naam, we are supposed to be connected with God, Sri Sadguru. Thus, the use of middle finger and thumb are expected. But how long are you supposed to do this? How long are you supposed to follow the rituals? Only till you don't realize that for realizing God, these rituals are not necessary. Until you are fearful that if you don't follow rituals, it will bring a bad omen. But once you get emotionally attached to the true idea of God, once you develop unconditional love and faith for God, all these rituals cease to exist for you. Whether you follow them or you worship the Lord the way you want, that hardly makes any difference. Once you realize that everything is under command of Sri Sadguru, a question such as the use of the index finger, middle finger, ring finger becomes immaterial. Not only that, but one also realizes that even the use of a string of prayer beads is not necessary for chanting holy Naam. If someone wants to go to the 6th floor of a building, he has to climb 12 sets of staircase. Can he climb all of them in one go? Definitely not. He has to climb them one by one. Maybe he will have to take a pause in between and rest for a while, but with all his efforts, he will reach the 6th floor. For someone who is very healthy, the climb will be easy, but still on his first attempt, even he will try to relax after reaching the top to ease his breathing. If someone comes to welcome him, he would rather ask them to wait for some time before he can engage in anything. But this is status on day one. It will not remain like that forever. If he climbs these stairs every day regularly, then slowly he will build stamina, and instead of taking a pause after the 3rd floor, slowly he will move to the 4th and 5th floor without a pause. A day will come when he will climb the 6th floor without any trouble, but to achieve that, consistency is important. This becomes possible since his body slowly prepares itself for the task and eventually gets it done without trouble. Similarly, when we start chanting holy Naam, we get bored initially. That is the reason I ask everyone to set a target of chanting for a certain number of times. Maybe 11 rounds, maybe 8, or even 3 are enough. But even chanting for 3 rounds become boring for a few. They start looking at their watch in a few minutes. They feel that time freezes while chanting the holy Naam. However, slowly they develop the habit of chanting holy Naam. Starting with a couple of rounds, slowly one increases the count to 3-4 rounds and then 8 rounds, and eventually chanting becomes a habit. Not only does it become a habit, but one starts to like chanting of holy Naam. The way by being consistent one climbs 6 floors without much trouble, chanting of holy Naam also comes naturally to one who is consistent in his practice. This also leads to love for holy Naam. In other words, love towards Sri Sadguru. Once his faith in Sri Sadguru becomes firm, he starts chanting holy Naam regularly without fail. His state of mind becomes such that it's not he who is chanting holy Naam, but Sri Sadguru himself is chanting it for him. One needs to attain this type of faith in Sri Sadguru and holy Naam. The thought that I will do it or I am doing it should slowly stop. I, me, myself should stop. If something goes wrong, whom do you blame? For everyone to discharge their duties to the fullest, they need someone to back them, someone strong enough to back them. In other words, we need to rely fully on Sri Sadguru to discharge all our duties efficiently. The thought of doing everything all alone puts additional pressure on individuals. If someone is given entire responsibility for a particular job, then he feels burdened up to 70% and his efficiency decreases because of that burden. On the other hand, if the same person works under the able guidance of some able superior, he can perform the task in a shorter period of time and can deliver very efficiently. Leaving his burden aside, he simply starts following the instructions and gives his 100% to the job and takes it to the next level step by step. In a similar fashion, we need to leave the burden of chanting aside and start simply following the instructions of Sri Sadguru. If we do so eventually, you will develop a love for the chanting of holy Naam. And this is why one should refrain from saying, I chant holy Naam, I want to chant holy Naam. Instead, one should say that I have surrendered myself in the feet of Sri Sadguru. I know nothing. It's Sri Sadguru who gets everything done for me. This is how I think even today. This is how I used to think earlier about my Sri Sadguru, and I will continue to have this feeling even in the future. No matter who and how the stairs are built, even one wrong step makes us slide all the way down. Thus, no matter what is the situation in our life, we should always have this faith that Sri Sadguru will help us ride any kind of wave. But we do the other way round and take credit for everything that is good and blame Sri Sadguru for everything that is bad in life. If we don't find a suitable boy for our daughter's marriage, we blame Sri Sadguru. However, if we get one, we take the entire credit for finding the suitable match and conveniently forget Sri Sadguru. Jai Sai Ram.